Codominance. In codominance, two dominant alleles affect the phenotype in separate, distinguishable ways. One of the best examples of this is the ABO blood group phenotypes in humans. This involves a single gene with three different alleles. Therefore, this is a trait that also has multiple alleles. These three alleles, in different combinations, produce four different phenotypes. Keep in mind that though this gene has three alleles, any one individual can only carry two alleles at a time. So for blood type A, that has genotypes AA and AO. If you are a type A blood, you have these A proteins on the surface of the blood cells. Type B, big B, or big BO, means you have the B proteins on the blood cells. And now here's the codominance. When there's type AB, you have both A and B proteins on the same blood cell. So you could distinguish both of these proteins. And type O is the absence of A or B. The relationship between dominant and recessive alleles. So what is the relationship between dominant and recessive alleles? A dominant allele does not subdue a recessive allele. Alleles don't interact. Alleles are simply variations in a gene's nucleotide sequence. For any characteristic, the dominance or recessiveness in relationships of alleles depends on the level at which we examine the phenotype. Click here to learn why dominant alleles are expressed over recessive alleles. Pleiotropy. Pleiotropy is a situation in which a single gene may affect many phenotypic characteristics. Pleio means more than one, and tropy means affecting or pertaining to. An example of pleiotropy in humans is sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease. This is a disease characterized by many diverse symptoms such as abnormal red blood cells, leading to physical weakness and anemia. So if these blood cells are abnormal, they can't carry as much oxygen, causing that physical weakness. Clumping of cells and clogging of small blood vessels leading to pain and fever, possible brain damage, and possible heart failure. So if you look at the shapes of these cells that are crescent shaped, they're not as round and able to flow through the blood vessels as well, so they clump more and then they stop blood flow, leading to these symptoms such as possible brain damage and heart failure. Accumulation in the spleen of abnormally shaped red blood cells leading to spleen damage. The spleen normally removes red blood cells that have lived their life and are worn out, and so if these crescent-shaped blood cells get clogged up in there, that could be a big problem for the spleen. Sickle cell disease. All the possible phenotypic effects of sickle cell disease are caused by the presence of a single allele when it is present on both homologous chromosomes. And this single allele, by the way, is a mutation that causes just one amino acid to be wrong in the whole amino acid sequence of the protein. The direct effect of a sickle cell allele is to make red blood cells produce abnormal hemoglobin molecules, which tend to link together and crystallize, again due to that one wrong amino acid being in that hemoglobin. This in turn leads to abnormally shaped red blood cells, which take on that crescent shape.